Do you think that the hardliners are taking over? The house of Dr. Seilen Haokip was burned in Manipur. He was responsible in ensuring that the highway, the blockade is done away with, and the house got burned.
All right. Before coming to answering your question, I'd like to revisit, the earlier comments that I have made regarding the opening of schools in Manipur. As I have said, I want to reiterate it again. Schools are open only in the valley, whereas in the hills, the schools and certain colleges are also even used as a relief camps. So you can imagine there are no students in the college or schools, but rather you see internally displaced people, and you will find them in those institutes and schools and colleges. And in addition to that, there was a ground report done by NTT News. I have watched it, and they went to the border areas in the hill districts where these people, the Kukis, are defending their land. While I was watching there, I was literally in tears because there are some people whom I know personally, teaching, a teacher, teachers having a lot of many years of experiences, acting and volunteering themselves to defend the land. So the NTT News has done a great job. And by the way, when they were asked, why would you pick up arms? And why not you go back to school and teach? And to the students, why not you lay down your arms and go to schools and start learning instead of picking up arms? They were, bewildered. They don't know what to answer. They said, when there is no resemblance of peace, when violence or threat can come anytime, when we are not safe, when the army or when the state machineries cannot keep us safe, how are we to go to school? How are we to teach our children? So that is the grave situation that we find in the hills, which is contrary to what is witnessed in the valley.
Okay.
Now, coming to your questions on the burning of Dr. Seilen's Haokip residence in Churachandpur district. Everyone is aghast, especially right-thinking people, especially from the Kuki community, is aghast with the act of violence committed on Dr. Seilen, the spokesperson of KNO, Kuki National Organization. He has done a great job in the sense that there are allegations. We cannot just rely and believe that whatever he's seen in the news or portrayed in the news through social media is true. Some people say his signature was forged, including Dr. Seilen and also Aaron Akipgen, who is the spokesperson of the UPF. That is one allegation. Whereas another one is civil society leaders have spoken to Seilen Haokip, our honorable MLA, and have asked if there was anything, any agreement or any consensus between the civil society, the politicians, and also our shoe leaders. Even Seilen was not aware where there was consensus ever taken. So if there was a consensus taken by the leaders, our leadership, be it the politicians, be it the civil society, and also our Sioux leaders, then this sort of things would not have happened. And by the way, it gives us a clear picture that suspension of operation, although the valley-based media and also the civil society and others have blamed the Sioux organization to a great extent for everything, for the problems, the violence that is created. But wait, let me go. But if you see, this is people's movement. This is people's movement. The anger, the angst comes from the community, the common people. No amount of effort given by our leaders without the consensus of the common people, without the consent of the common people, that is the civilians, nothing can really fructify. For example, you see, I don't know whether that was true or not, but then spokesperson gave his signature regarding the opening of the National Highway 2. But then you see a lot of civilians, a lot of people have
Doungel ji, I need to get Ramanand ji on this because there is, there are a couple of things I want to bring into this discussion apart from the fact of security, because there is one thing which is very close to my heart, which is food security. But Ramanand ji, first to respond to this, and then I am going to talk about food security because, in terms of security, we forget people need to eat. Khana to padega sabko. And what is happening is that the farmers are not able to work. So first to respond to this, are hardliners taking over? Something which was spontaneous, something which was led, have hardliners taken over? Because बातचीत तो करनी पड़ेगी. There will have to be some conversation somewhere. Either it is on TV or is it silently or somewhere. If Israelis and Palestinians can talk in Oslo, if the whites can, if Nelson Mandela can speak to whites in South Africa, ये तो अपना ही देश है. बातचीत तो होनी ही होनी है. कब और कैसे होनी है, बस वो है. So first to respond to this, Ramanand ji, do you think that hardliners are taking over? Because I'm not saying that every Meithei, every Kuki has one voice. They will have multiple voices. That's the beauty of Indian democracy. The shades of grey, sir.
Kartikeya, the point here is one has to understand if we see peaceful, harmonious, and the normalcy in Manipur, one day something has to be worked out towards the normalcy. There is no point to discuss about the hatred, violence, and those provocating things in the different contexts or different fora. If we, as a Manipuri or so-called the people in Manipur, is willing to do something for the state and the welfare of the state and for their children, one day someone has to lead. And someone and some organization has to work towards the normalcy. And it has to be done. Only then we will expect the full normalcy in Manipur. Now, the situations coming up in these 2-3 days is something I would like to say is very, very good messages across. I am observing one incident where some of the Meithei boys have been captured and men were captured by the Kuki communities. They have been released to send a message of peace. And similarly, some initiative of the opening of the National Highway 2, such act of respect and act of the step towards normalcy, step towards the peace will definitely help Manipur crisis to end. Otherwise, one has to also observe that if we, talking about if you observing, if you, provoke people across the state in different, region, maybe in the hill or maybe on in the valley, then it will not end. So that is very important issue. That's why the issues of the internal conflicts even inside the different communities started. So therefore, I do agree with yes, there are the people in the Manipur across the community have the heart, they wanted to see the peace. They wanted to see state of normalcy in Manipur. So it's a good good to see. Despite there are still the violence. There are still some kind of incidents happening in Manipur. But besides that, there are a few things which can also be observed as a initiative of peace.